Wow.
You're like a mini Sean Sweeney. It's so weird. You look really like him.
Well, I mean, I guess yeah. We're both pale, both got short hair, kind of the same hairstyle. I don't know.
But quite fit.
Yeah, I guess so.
In an athletic sense, not a sexual sense. Just to clarify that.
Thank you.
How are you getting on?
Good.
Are you enjoying an off season?
Off season wasn't very long because
Oh,
of
really?
I mean, the games got pushed back so far. By the time we actually finally competed in the games, it's like, I mean, you compete again in 6 months for the Open, so you can't really get too out of shape, you know. And
Yeah.
so I took a few weeks, like I guess probably maybe like a week off, and then uh kind of started moving around again just because I like to keep the metabolism up and keep the body kind of loose and going a little bit, or, rev the engine a little bit every day. But it's hard to get back into it. I didn't mentally start getting hard again until this week or last week, last Monday. Um, but and then partially, I got married 3 weeks ago, honeymoon, Thanksgiving, and then came back to Oklahoma, and then started getting back into it. So
Is it?
luckily, that wedding kind of forced me to take
Yeah.
a off season.
And is getting back into it like the mental struggle to get back into it? Do you think that's because the last season was so long and you're kind of like, oh God, I can't be bothered to train as hard as I was?
No, it's like that every year. I think the
Amanda
first year I
Barnhart said
qualified.
the same. She was like, she said she was just really struggling to, and she said every year she's the same. That it's just like
Yeah,
takes a while. The wheels are just spinning for a while and nothing's really happening. And then, she was saying that
yeah,
it's kind of hard where you don't want to do a CrossFit workout and that you're kind of struggling with that aspect of things where it's like, oh, if I don't want to do it, what does that tell me? But then it goes away, I suppose.
yeah. It takes a while. I think part of it is like you put a lot of stress into going into a big competition, even if it's not the games. If it was regionals a few years ago, or if it's your sanctional that you're preparing for, like a lot of anxiety goes into that. And I don't know if that's something for all competitive athletes or not, but you stress out about it a lot. It's all constantly on your mind. And so when it finally like gets there, it's a big adrenaline dump. And then you like, the couple days following, you're kind of just wasted and spent. And getting back into that mindset of grinding in the gym, for a few hours every day is hard to get back into. I think a lot of it's just like adrenal fatigue, you know, like your hormones get kind of out of whack, and it's hard to sleep for a little while, and I don't know, but it takes a while for the body to especially the mind to reset. And I've also wondered if part of that is actually just like your pain tolerance.
Hmm.
Um, like a competition hurts so bad, uh, and preparing you get into that the mindset of being able to endure that pain in your training regularly, and it's hard to get prepared to do that. I think you actually just have to forget about how bad it was hurting in order to get back into making it hurt again.
Hmm.
Um,
It's
so
probably
I
your
think,
mind trying to protect your body a bit to be like, no, you're still not ready. Like,
yeah, yeah,
hmm.
yeah. My body was certainly beat up this year. By the time we finally got into it, my body's like, dude, you gotta stop. You gotta stop a little bit. So it's feeling better now. All those bumps and aches and bruises are healing up nicely. So
Hmm.
now is the time to start getting fit again.
How's married life been so far?
So me and my wife, we met whenever we were seniors in high school. We were 17 when we met. We've been together for 8 years, and so we were engaged for 2 years. We didn't know where we were going to live whenever we got engaged. Like the following year, we wanted to get married in the winter in Louisiana because it's so hot in Louisiana, which is south part of United States, very humid, very hot. And so we wanted to get married in the winter, and it just ended up being a 2 year engagement. So by the time we got married, we'd been together for 8 years. So um,
No
married life's good,
surprises.
but no surprises, no surprises.
Yeah.
So
Be hard to hide a facet of your personality for 8 years, in fairness, to suddenly relax.
Absolutely. Yeah. She's my best buddy, and
Mm,
so, and she didn't hide anything from me anyway. There's never been a thing she's hidden. So I knew what I was getting into. I
mm.
don't think I've hid too much from her, but she's been quite a supporter for me for as long as I can remember.
That's
So she's
cool.
pretty cool.